going to speak power and strength into our beautiful African sisters. That's right. I'm going to build you up. And what makes it so bad about these so-called life coaches, some of them actually regurgitate a lot of Dr. Umar talking points. People send me clips of some of these YouTubian opportunist so-called life coaches, and I'm seeing some of them quote me verbatim without giving credit to their source. And some of them claim to not even like me. So why are you quoting my material and not referencing me? You obviously watch me. Too much of my material is coming out of your mouth. It's a whole group. There's at least 12. I think I've counted 12 different YouTubian beta male wannabe life coaches that are out there slandering black women, attacking black women, degrading black women. I count about a dozen. I'm gonna call them the dirty dozen of division. The triple D, the dirty dozen of division. There's about 12 members of the dirty dozen of division, 12 beta males, YouTube life coaches, who are trying to build a platform by making black women feel bad. I don't like it. Black men trying to make a dollar off of making black women feel bad. And unfortunately, our black women, some of them are so thirsty for validation that they're participating in the attacks and slander against the black female community, and that's not acceptable.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye BIack. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I wasn't originally going to address Umar Johnson, right? I was thinking about maybe doing it in a live stream, but it all centered around the video, and I probably had the video at the beginning of this video where he was on social media and he posted about people quoting him and about how you had these life coaches out here swaying black women in the wrong direction, using them to make a dollar. He even talked about how there are women who go to guys like a Kevin Samuels for validation. He even mentioned them as Newtubians. Now, I addressed Kevin Samuels. If y'all want to see that video, the link will be in the description box. Y'all can go check out my commentary on Kevin Samuels. Now, the last time I spoke about Umar Johnson was when he was on the Roland Martin show. In that interview a while back, I spoke about that. But this whole thing about Umar Johnson, I really didn't understand it, where it started. So I kind of just left it where it was until I saw the clip from Kevin Samuels, where he brought up Umar. And I don't know if that is what sent Umar off. Maybe that's how Umar has always felt, but he decided to address it. And now people on social media are running wild with this because they've been trying everything to go at Kevin Samuels, right? Now, I'm not saying this as somebody who is coming in this as a defender of Kevin Samuels. I am looking objectively at this whole situation. And the thing about Umar is quite interesting. You know, he talked about how, you got guys making money off of black women, but your whole thing in what you do is for the black women and children, right? A lot of your supporters are melanated women. And I think a lot of guys like Umar, they are basically pandering to the women because that's what it comes off as. We have a lot of issues in the melanated community. One of the things we don't talk about is the group economics part. The fact that I don't care how much you call these women queens, how much you call them goddesses, the economy in the community is still controlled by a certain segment of people. When you look at the fact that the economy in the community is controlled by foreigners, they are going to be the ones who are going to be giving the jobs and the opportunities to the people in that community, which is the black women. And the black boys are pretty much left out in the cold because they have to grow up in a situation where they don't have a father figure. They grow up with mother figures, right? And what we have going on now is you have Umar Johnson, who's basically his platform is about building a school, for young black boys, right? But you have to do more than live streams going off and saying, what this structure is doing to us as a people. You have to go deeper into it because we have a lot of issues. Now, he mentioned how people are quoting his material. I don't know if people are quoting his material. I don't think I've ever quoted anything that Umar Johnson has said because it doesn't relate to my content. It doesn't relate to me. See, I've been making content since 2014. And my content is based off accountability. Yes, more so with women, because if you look at the way that the melanated community is, you have a lot of fatherlessness. You have women with multiple children by multiple men. Okay? They do not take accountability for their choices in men. And it has a ripple effect. It affects the generations to come. I mentioned a live stream how, just having one dysfunctional relationship with one dysfunctional man can set a woman back years in her development. Because what happens is she gets used to that and it's normal to her. So she ends up getting into a relationship with a guy with the same similar traits, or she looks for certain things in a certain guy, right? So when you look at Umar Johnson, he looks at things from a surface level. He talks about the structure, right? He talks about the fact that he wants black relationships. He's talked about how he's felt about the alphabet community. Yeah, surface level, he talks about stuff that, makes you feel good. It's like, yay, yeah, we need to fight this structure, right? We need to build a school for young black children. But we got to get deeper than that. We got to talk about accountability. And I think that's one aspect that Kevin Samuels has introduced, is accountability on the woman's part. I'm not saying the guy's perfect. I'm not saying that, he doesn't have his own issues. But what I'm saying is, we only have seen things from one side. We as men, especially us as melanated men, we've always had to be held accountable for the things that we said and the things that we did. We always had to be held accountable. Always. We were always told that, we're the one, if we make mistakes, we got to fix it. If the relationship is on the ropes, we're the ones that are looked upon to fix it, instead of telling these women what they want to hear. Because Umar Johnson may not like it, but a lot of those women don't really respect all that queen, goddess, you do nothing wrong. It's a system or a structure. Now, I could be getting it wrong. Maybe Umar Johnson has said other things. I've heard him speak before. I've seen video clips of him. He's made some good points on certain things. But it just seems that he and others in his industry, they feel like Kevin Samuels is taking away from them. But if your work is stronger and it speaks for itself, you don't have to go and beef with somebody else in order to prove that. Your work will speak for itself. Those women will listen to guys like Kevin, and then they will say, you know what Dr. Umar is saying, it means more, right? It answers those questions. Kevin Samuels does not answer those questions, but people don't do that. They want to be on this side or that side. Like, you have a devout group of people that don't like Kevin Samuels and that don't like Umar Johnson. I am not in either group. As you can see, I don't speak about them like that. But I'm addressing this because I feel like when Dr. Umar was speaking in his video, I think he was speaking towards men in general who speak on women. And there's this notion, I don't know why the notion's out there, that if you speak against women, you don't like women, you can't get a woman. But you got men who may agree with what we're saying, who may say those things as well, they can tell you all the stories of all the women that they've been with, dealing with ex-wives, dealing with ex-girlfriends, dealing with babies' mothers. You can't make that up. You can't pretend to hate somebody that you've never dealt with. That to me is what you call shaming. And a lot of that is going on. They want to shame men who have anything to say about the actions of a woman. We're supposed to shut up and watch women deteriorate. Melanated women are deteriorating. Yes, they are. They are deteriorating before your eyes, before all of us. That's why the majority of them cannot stay in a committed relationship. One, because they're choosing men for the wrong reasons, and they're choosing the wrong men. And two, they don't really understand the aspects of a long-term relationship. Because once they get past the dating phase or the courting phase, dating phase, and then they get into the initial relationship, they don't know what to do after that, which pushes them in the direction of a Kevin Samuels, pushes them in the direction of red pill content. I have women that listens to me regularly. It is because they're tired of being told that they're queens. They're tired of being told, you know what? A lot of the problems you deal with is the men. You have to go and hop the fence. You have to choose this and that, but they never tell you that you need to, actually have standards in the type of men you're choosing. Don't just choose a guy, because he is just a new guy, right? You need to choose a guy because he actually wants a relationship with you, instead of choosing a guy that just wants to sleep with you. Instead of choosing a guy that wants to use you. And I think a lot of women these days are coming across men who are just using them. And those women are being pushed into the direction of a Kevin Samuels. And Umar Johnson doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that after all these years, women are actually going to these males, they're going to these content creators, these men on YouTube, and listening to them, but they're not listening to guys like him, because there are women who are still going to listen to Umar, but they're not going to believe much of what he's saying. He's just the opposite of Kevin Samuels, and that's the only thing that matters to them. They want to continue to be pandered to. They want to continue to be lied to, and then they wonder why they continuously fall into the same bad, failing relationships like they always do.